we've looked at the main measure that we see change during TM practice, and that is the frontal areas of the brain, the executive centers of the brain become actually more coherent, more orderly. Coherence just means integrated functioning. Coherence means that what one part of the brain is doing, the other part of the brain is involved, is communicating back and forth. And because they're both involved in the same task, the electrical pattern, the electrical signature is similar. And this is what coherence is measuring. So when we talk about coherence, we're really talking about the brain not acting as a lot of independent modules functioning, but these modules begin to be functioning together. What we are finding is the whole brain is beginning to communicate during TM practice, called total brain functioning. This is the brain measure, which allows us to make a very strong objective statement about actually something happening very private and deep in the individual. And that is their whole sense of self, who they are, where they're thinking from, where they're appreciating the world from is becoming deeper, fuller, more expanded. And what we did is we took freshmen, first-year students here at Maharishi University of Management before they learned the TM technique. And we looked at what their EEG was like as they were sitting with eyes closed and doing a complex task. And we asked, how will the brain change during the meditation practice and afterwards? And what we found, it was really quite exciting that at 2 months, the level of coherence, the level of integration of the frontal lobes, the executive centers, reached a very high level during TM practice. And then that was a level that they reached at 6 months, at 12 months. So that was one fascinating finding. The other was, during the task, this challenging computer task, at each time that we post-tested, there was increasing frontal coherence during the task. What we are seeing is the experience and the brain patterns that we see during meditation was beginning to be seen more and more in activity. Every time you experience something, it creates a cascade electrical activity that goes back and forth and left and right, and it leaves its imprint on the brain. It's almost like water coming up onto sand in the ocean side. The water comes up, it gives some experience, and the water goes, and it leaves some imprint there. The imprint that's being left in your brain is the connections between specific groups of neurons are now stronger. So this happens with every experience. Meditation is a new type of experience. And different meditations give different types of experience. Transcendental meditation gives you a unique experience, and that is of restful alertness. Restful alertness. We know how to be restful, that's called sleep. We know how to be alert, that's called being in a football game. But how do you have both together? And this is what the experience of TM gives you. When you actually look at the neural imaging of the brain, the very center of the brain, the thalamus, which is at the outlet of all of the information going up to the brain, the higher brain centers that process it, that part of the brain is more quiet. The frontal area, the executive area, the whole attentional system is more active than just sitting with eyes closed. So it's a state of being highly alert, highly awake, but in a very quiet state of mind and body. This is another experience, and continually having this experience strengthens those circuits, so you can be more restfully alert in activity. In your calculus class, when you're playing music, when you're walking with your friend. And so what we're seeing is the brain pattern of transcending, of inner wakefulness, of alertness, intelligence, creativity, vibrancy. That's beginning to be there more and more when you're in the middle of a very challenging, demanding task. And now, this is when you need it. If TM only had some nice effects when your eyes are closed, it wouldn't be very valuable because your eyes are closed, you're not doing anything. The bottom line for students is that you can have more settledness, very quiet, but you're fully alert and you're ready to go. And this is the brain state you bring with you. This is the inner conscious experience state that you bring with you into class. This is something which you actually see, and students, faculty have commented, just the wakefulness, the alertness, the excitement, the light in the student eyes. And this is where it comes from. Simply taking the brain back and forth from the state of transcending into activity, it brings more of that inner value of life out into activity.